When I picked up the iPhone 10 to use for a couple of weeks in 2021, I wasn't expecting much. I did, however, get an answer to a question that was always in my mind when using an Android phone. Why do people choose to buy iPhones? In this short review, we'll discuss the answer, and if you do end up liking this video, consider subscribing. The iPhone 10 launched in 2017 and marked a drastic change in Apple's strategy. No more foreheads and chins on their phones, Touch ID replaced with Face ID, almost a bezel-less design, albeit that notch, and a gesture-based interface replacing the home button. 4 years later, all of Apple's phones follow the same pattern. The design of the iPhone 10 still holds its own in 2021. The glass sandwich build, the stainless steel sides, and the classy white color are still a joy to look at. The phone has seen its fair share of wear and tear that is most visible on the side railing, but other than that, the phone is a delight to hold. And one thing many users will appreciate is the fact that the phone is lightweight with a small enough footprint to be one-handed use friendly. The one issue I did encounter was the ring silent switch button not having enough friction and changing position on its own, so do keep that in mind when buying this phone used. Up front, the iPhone 10 marked the very first time Apple used an OLED panel, but not just any panel. Apple surprised everyone by using a curved panel to remove the chin. The 5.8-inch display is still decent to use in 2021. It's rich and vibrant in colors with good viewing angles and a brightness level that won't give you any issues in direct sunlight. Another great thing about this display is the HDR support, which means you can enjoy that HDR content on YouTube. The notch at the top, housing the Face ID sensors, was a huge talking point about this phone. Everybody was critical of how Face ID would work and how people would get used to that notch. Even Samsung made a special ad mocking that notch. But 4 years later, no one cares about it and Face ID works as intended. The one thing that I did worry about while using this phone was the battery life. We all know iPhones are notorious in featuring a smaller power cell. The iPhone 10 had a 2715 mAh battery, which believe it or not is just 100 mAh less than the iPhone 12 Pro. The current battery health of this phone is at 84%, which is decent seeing how many charging cycles it has seen in the past 4 years. If this phone is in your radar, do check the battery health and see if it needs a replacement or not. The battery replacement cost in Canada is just a buck short of $90. As far as the battery life goes, with light to medium usage, the phone did last me a day, but your mileage may vary. Although the phone is capable of charging at a speed of 15 watt, Apple included a 5 watt charger in the box, which is still better than the 0 watt charger included in the iPhone 12 series. The iPhone 10 also featured a dual camera setup, a main 12 megapixel f1.8 shooter, and the same resolution f2.4 telephoto. Surprisingly enough, the cameras on this phone are still good. As you can see from the shots, the color reproduction is nice, and I just like the overall look of the photo. In general, the photos are still social media worthy. The telephoto lens is also there to get you a close-up shot of a far away object. The front selfie camera, however, is passable and nothing to write home about. Video quality is where this phone still shines. Shooting super smooth 4K 60fps is still an option in this phone. In my opinion, iPhones are still the king of smartphone videography. The footage that you're currently seeing is recorded at 4K 30fps with no post-editing. The one thing I did miss while using this phone was the versatility of the ultra-wide camera, but other than that, I feel these cameras are good enough to be used in 2021. And now we finally get to the answer of the question that I asked at the start of this video. Why do people buy iPhones? The answer is performance and software support. During the duration of this phone's use, never did I once feel I was holding a 4-year-old phone in my hands. The iPhone 10 featured Apple's 10nm A11 bionic chip. To compare, the iPhone 12 Pro features the 5nm A14 bionic chip. Even then, the iPhone 10 is no slouch. Every year, Apple boasts about how their A-series chipsets are annihilating the Android competition in terms of benchmarks, speeds, and graphics, and that level of performance is most useful in later part of the phone's life, and that is where it is clearly visible in the iPhone 10. The phone can handle any app you throw at it. Never does the phone show any signs of aging whatsoever. If you are the kind of person who's into mobile gaming, you won't be disappointed here as well. I did play a few games and didn't notice any hiccups at all. The one issue, however, I do want to mention is the heating issue. This particular phone tends to get a bit hot in some cases like gaming or while using the camera for a longer duration. Now I'm not sure if it's just this phone in particular or if it's iOS 14 doing its thing, but that's something that I did want to mention in this review. Other than that, it is running the latest version of iOS, which is iOS 14.6, and that's the same as the iPhone 12 series. Now let me say that again. The 4-year-old iPhone 10 is running the same software as its newest sibling. Now how often can you say that about an Android phone? The answer is never. I have a Pixel 2 XL that was released in the same year as the iPhone 10. Now that Google phone has not gotten any security updates since last year November and also won't be getting Android 12. That's just 3 years of software support from Google, the company that makes Android. I would also like to give a not so honorable mention to the Samsung Galaxy S8. It was also released in 2017 and that phone didn't even get updated to Android 10, forget Android 11 or 12. The iPhone 10 on the other hand will get software support for at least another 2 years or maybe even 3. And that is the reason I believe people buy iPhones. Longer software support, and a performance level that is unmatched in the Android competition. Now, should you buy the iPhone 10 in 2021? Well, if you get it for around $300, I would recommend getting it. It still has a couple of years of software support left, and the screen and the cameras are decent enough to be used even today. Anything over $300 is too much to ask for a 4-year-old phone. Also, do keep the heating issue, the battery health, and the wear and tear in mind. Otherwise, getting this phone in 2021 is still a good decision. Well, that's kind of it for the review, guys. Be sure to subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.